Hey guys, welcome back to Toy Foolery. I'm your host, Pigface McGee, and today we are looking at the Spider-Man 2 / No Way Home Doc Ock, and I'm super excited to get this toy. It kind of completes the set except for the Sandman. Hopefully they release an Electro and Lizard. I would be super stoked for those two, but this is the Spider-Man 2 that they have it marked as, but I'm just going to consider it the No Way Home since it released with that wave. Let's check out the box first and see if it's better than your mother's, and then we'll get it out and see how those octopus tentacles are working. So first things first, let's spin around. We get the same render that we have on front. Not a photo, it's a render. Another render on the back where we see all 4 tentacles, his arms. We see that it comes with the 4 arms on top with an additional 2 arms. I guess those are the standing arms, and 2 standing feet, and 2 additional hands for Doc Ock. 2 open hands. I'm not sure. I guess they're just throwing stuff in there. Another render on the side. And this box is pretty boring. I really hated the I know this is a deluxe figure, but I really hate the plastic-free packaging, not just because these pictures are horrible and not really representative of the items, because that looks like a CGI version of Alfred Molina, not actually the actor or the toy. But yeah, let's get this thing out and see if it's any better than this render on the outside. So here we have Doc Ock out of the box. Oh, that was a rhyme. And he looks really, really good. The tentacles are fantastic. The arms, the hands on the tentacles are fantastic. My only complaint is, and this is probably just my figure because Hasbro hates me and they know whenever they send it to my address that they have to do something wrong. One of the digits on the tentacles was broken and it's very loose, but other than that, this is really, really cool. So one of the things that you notice immediately when you take this thing out the box is that these tentacles are way more rigid than any other tentacles that I've seen for any previous Doc Ock. Like, they're super strong. It took a lot of effort to bend it just into this shape alone. Yeah, that is a strong selling point. I mean, might be a little bit too strong because I'm concerned about stressing these ports in the back and breaking them just because of how much force you have to put into it to make it stretch. But that's super helpful when you're trying to make him stand on his tentacles, which takes a lot of effort to do with the other Doc Ocks. So let's take a closer look at it and see what I'm talking about. So not only is it thick, but it's super strong. That's what she said. And that is just a phenomenal. Yeah, you guys can't see it because I have stupid pup hands, but the amount of effort that I'm putting in to bend it like this is really a lot, and it's much more than any other Doc Ock. In fact, I think it would probably be easier to show how easy it is to bend the other Doc Ock arms compared to these. So here's the other Doc Ock, and as you can see, bending it no problem, and it's bending back. But as you can see, no effort whatsoever to bend it, where I actually struggled to bend the other Doc Ock arm. And it's not just because they're both been sitting in this very cold room for the past couple of weeks. So that is not the excuse of why one arm bends more. It's just a stronger wire, a thicker plastic around it, making it more rigid. So that's a really strong plus in regard to the Doc Ock. But outside of the tentacles, which, like I said, is probably the big key point for this, we have to take a look at the scope of the figure. And while this is not probably the greatest Alfred Molina sculpt, it's not that bad. It's actually fairly decent. It's fairly decent Alfred Molina sculpt. The suit is just like it was in No Way Home or Spider-Man 2. The jackets with the rip holes in the back, fantastic. A little bit of texture on the jacket, which I'm not sure if it's translating into the camera, but a little bit of texture on the jacket is really cool. The tentacles, I don't know if they constructed the plastic like this just so that it could be help it with its rigidity, but this is actually very, very cool design to make it look very metallic and very mechanical, like the arms from the movie. And in general, this is just a really cool figure. This figure and the Green Goblin figure, phenomenal figures, and I really wish they came out earlier in the year so they can be added to your collection. So just to go over the things that came in the box real quick. The box came with the Doc Ock arms being attached to the Alfred Molina figure, which was different from the other Doc Ock with the Aunt May 2-pack, which you had to attach the arms. And I'm wondering if that's helping with some of the rigidity that's there. All the feet were unattached, and that's if you want to rearrange them. Obviously, these feet are for if you want him to stand on the two lower legs, and he won't stand on these two legs. It's going to take some moving stand. Okay, so if you want him to stand on these two legs, they give you some base that are wider to give it more support, so you can stand him straight up to give him some height. And they gave you two open hands, and that's it. That's all the accessories. I mean, only really counting this as an accessory, because if you didn't give me the hands, then the hell are we doing with Doc Ock? Awesome sculpt. This is a lack of paint is killing me on this figure, but other than that, amazing piece. I love this portion of the body. It looks actually really, really good. The inside of the coat, let's crack it open and see if there's actually two separate coats in here. And, well, it's 1.5 coats because they didn't actually plan it out as if we were going to open it up completely, but that's actually really cool, the effort they put into that design. As you can see, they only did it halfway around the back, but still, the fact that it's a separate piece means something. You can see his harness. Does his harness go all the way around? It does, but it doesn't finish. They only did the design work on the front, but that's fine, because unless you're a weirdo like me, you're not going to really crack open his coat to look. Let's see. I'm not really concerned about his not really concerned about how he moves, because simply he's not going to move like other figures. He's Doc Ock. I don't expect him to be doing backflips. So the fact that his coat hinders his movement is not so bad. I just wish it was a little bit more clear so that we can get more than that, so we can get a little bit more dynamic posing. But I mean, him getting his knee up, pretty decent. Not the worst, not the best. Neck pivots down that much. I wish they had a little bit more give to the neck, because obviously if he's standing up, he's looking down at someone, his neck would have to be at a different angle. It would probably be different. I guess it depends on what kind of peg they use to connect the head. Let's check out the elbows. And I knocked off that one piece, like I was saying, was the piece that was annoying, and now it's not on there. That's fine. This looks like a single jointed elbow. That's fine. It's pinless, but I'm not going to bend it. Like I said, it's been in a very cold room, and I don't want to put any stress on it, on the plastic. And oh no, it was both pieces just popped off. I think that's my only grievance with this. So real simple. Last thing. Let's take a look at this head sculpt. And as you can see, Alfred Molina, not quite better than the digital render that they put on it on the box, but not quite Alfred Molina. Fairly decent. It's better than a lot of head sculpts we've seen, but it's actually asymmetrical. There's actually something really decent about it. If you look at the minute details around his lip and his face isn't actually perfect. And I don't know if they were meant to do that, but most people's faces aren't symmetrical, so that actually is something really cool. Awesome figure. So, final verdict. Is this a buy, wait for a discount, or skip? Or should this get a walk of shame and a march of shame? And the answer is this is a must buy. If you're a fan of Spider-Man 2, is a must buy. If you're a fan of No Way Home, this is a must buy. Like, this is just one of those things that you want to add to your shelf, to your MCU shelf, or your Spider-Man shelf, and you'll be excited about it. You're going to put him on those pivot legs and stand him up with Spider-Man, with either Tobey, or you're going to have him up there with Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin. And I don't know why I say that, because he's the only one who's ever played Green Goblin outside of James Franco, but he didn't really play. He played Baby Goblin, but I digress. You're going to want to add this to your collection. That's the bottom line. This is a must buy. Go get it. I'm pretty sure that it's still available. This is another figure that is not going to go on clearance. Don't wait for it to go on clearance. Get it now. And that's it for me, guys. I will check you in the next video. Thanks.